Today is Thursday the 10th of November and it's the 9th day of the flood, which started on Tuesday the 31st of October in our area of Petchkasem Rd. As floodwater advanced around the western side of Bangkok, Thonburi, soy by soy towards Bangkok, our area, I made flood doors out of waterproof plywood which I siliconed and screwed on tightly to all the door frames, and in certain cases added additional bars of wood drilled and screwed tightly to the cement floor. We have folding glass doors too, and I siliconed them from both sides, which also helps keep the water out. Although the floodwater level outside is quite high, inside it's only several centimetres thanks to the silicone and the flood doors. I'm going around collecting sediment in a bucket. We pump out excess water from the bathroom into the swamp again with a water pump at regular intervals during the day and the night. So far, so good. Before the floods arrived, we bought a special piece of thick plastic designed to protect cars in floods. We wrapped up the piano with the help of a few men from a local clothing factory. Thanks in part to the flood doors and the water pump, we have a very manageable 1 centimetre of water in this room, so the piano, much to my relief, has never been in any danger. I read today some good news in the Bangkok Post that the government expect to be able to pump out water at such a rate that Bangkok streets could be dry within the next 11 days. Fingers crossed. Just before the flood arrived, we'd laid a new wooden floor in our piano room. We had the choice of gluing the wood down onto the ceramic tiles, which would have been easy, or drilling through the ceramic tiles and screwing down the wood instead. We decided to do it the hard way, just in case there was a problem with a flood or a termite invasion. We've numbered each piece, unscrewed them, and they're stored in the corner of my studio on the first floor. The first place we had water in the house was actually through screw holes we made in the ceramic tiles to lay a wooden floor. We had some beeswax which we heated in a saucepan, rolled it into a ball and forced it into the holes. The water made the beeswax cool very hard and the water stopped. This is the flood door on our main entrance. On the other side we have that level of water, but on the inside we only have several centimetres. This is waterproof plywood, 15mm thick. It's been siliconed all the way around and screwed tightly to the frame, and siliconed on the other side before the water arrived. I have reinforcements here which have been drilled and raw plugged into the cement tiles. So far it's kept the water out. Our gate's keeping dry above water level. Even though the water level is low, the first thing we did was cut the power to the ground floor. I passed the cable for the water pump up to the first floor and made a hole in the ceiling by a plug. Khwan! Water pump! Before the floods arrived, we blocked up all the drainage holes in the bathroom and toilet by ramming down old t-shirts attached to a piece of nylon string so we could pull them out later. Even though we blocked our toilet from inside in a similar way, when the flood started, water came from the base. The base just couldn't withstand the pressure, and within minutes this room was flooded. It was clear I couldn't stop the water draining from the join between the toilet and the tiles. I decided to take it off and try to block the drain instead. We did this at 3 o'clock in the morning by torchlight. When the toilet was disconnected from the drain, the pressure of water from inside pushed up like a volcano, and we had at least half a metre of water within 10-15 seconds in this room. It was clearly a make or break situation and a race against time. I managed to get a good number of towels and t-shirts down the drain before the water pressure slowed down, and we were able to seal the drain with this heavy barrel of stones. When the floodwater came, we took everything upstairs to the first floor that we could carry except for the piano. My studio is now quite full. But it's keeping dry, and when the flood's gone, we can put it all back again. We have 4 dogs of our own, plus my neighbour's dog and cat to look after. There's nowhere to take them for a walk, so I made this dog toilet here in the corner of my balcony. I put a thick plastic sheet which I stapled to the balcony and covered it with sand and leaves and a few plants. It seems to have done the trick. Tom, the neighbour's dog, has got used to our dogs and they get on okay. He stopped howling and is enjoying himself, I think. He's enjoying having the company for the first time of other dogs. Our neighbour said he was a vicious dog, but he's not at all. He's a big softie. He just wants lots of attention, which he doesn't normally get. I think he howls because he's just lonely. And now he's got some company, 4 other dogs and a blind cat, and he seems to have settled in quite well. The dogs are getting on great together, and the little blind cat comes from time to time. He's just down there by the gutter, and they don't take a scrap of notice of it. Our dogs have been alerted to something strange outside. Happens to be a floating bucket. There's nothing on the streets. Anything that moves catches their attention. And they try to protect our house just in the same way. Scout was given to us by our local vet. She had a broken leg and couldn't walk, and he asked us to look after it, and she's the easiest of all our dogs to look after. She's the most intelligent too. Poor thing. It's a hungry cat. Cat food for some kittens which are living close by on the wall. We're going to see what's happened to another one of our neighbour's dogs. The family of the old lady that owns the dog came to collect her but didn't take her dog, and we were told that they had done, but it's apparent that they haven't, so we're going to try to get in the house and see if he's okay. Got to be careful with the camera. This is our neighbour's house. She's been evacuated. Oh, he's still there and he's okay, but he's still alive. Quite hungry. Well, iguanas normally live downstairs, but it's flooded, so we've brought them up here and we're looking after them in this old cage. They seem quite happy there and can see what's going on all around them. It's in the style of an old teak house. The turtles normally live in a rocky pond downstairs, but I made this little enclosure in the balcony so they can get some sunshine. I put some sand and plastic and a water bowl, and they seem quite happy here for the moment.
Terrapins can stay out of water for quite a long time, but they need to be in water to eat. The water at the back of the house looks beautiful. I wish it would stay like this without flooding our home. Our street is like a ghost town, which suits me just fine. I can hear the birds. I lifted up the plants from our veranda to the first floor and they can get some sunshine here without the flooding. Luckily we have an additional sink and water on the first floor balcony, so we can carry on doing the washing and the washing up and hang our clothes to dry. And we've made a little kitchen corner on our first floor balcony with kettle, toaster and electric pan which fries and cooks everything. It's very good. Khwan and I emptied the fridge and carried it upstairs step by step. It wasn't that heavy. And we have a rice cooker there, so basically we have all we need to survive quite well. And each day I wash the deck with Haita bleach. Torn has a habit of howling at 3 o'clock in the morning, but it doesn't matter because we've got to get up anyway and switch on the pump. The weather's beautiful, it's nice and cool, it's not so humid, and I've noticed that the water seems to have dropped down by maybe 1 centimetre or 2 centimetres. That is very good news. Eggs are in plentiful supply, so we have a nice fried egg or an omelette or poached egg for breakfast.
Bon appetit.
And there's Tom. Hello Tom.
In the bowl and to the balcony. It's quite pleasant doing the washing up here on the balcony. It's not a hardship. There we go. And some biodegradable washing up liquid. These are going to be the fastest drying dishes as the sun is already very hot. Each time we come upstairs from the ground floor, or if we've been outside, we have a shower. And if it's just in the house, we wash our feet in a mixture of water and bleach. Kills some of the germs, I hope. And then not only feet get washed in bleach, but shoes and boots as well. Our bedroom's on the ground floor, so we took the mattresses from the bed and we've put them on the floor in the corner of Khwan's studio. Extension lead to switch on the pump during the night. We switch it on about every 30 minutes or 1 hour, just for 5 minutes. Our third floor hasn't changed that much. I disconnected the internet from the ground floor, passed the wire back through the wall through the balcony, across the second floor and into this room. The internet is actually faster than before, being that there's less people in our area using it. Khwan's got some of her sculptures in storage on the workbench. Khwan's going to go shopping with her father in our canoe to the top of the soil. Our canoe is proving to be very useful at this time. Khwan's mother smiling from the top balcony. Flood water level outside hasn't dropped yet, but I'm optimistic that it should do quite soon. Khwan's father is very good at rowing, much better than Khwan or me. Father and daughter to the top of the soy, where the police give out free meals and water, which saves us cooking tonight. There's our neighbour's house, Khwan's parents' house, the entrance to our house, at the back, as it stands today. And the water today is moving quite quickly, which is a good sign. Khwan's taking a moment to update her own flood diary. She has beautiful handwriting. This video is for our friends and family, and as you can see, Khwan and I are coping quite well with the flood situation in Bangkok. So thanks for watching. Bye bye.
Bye.